Oh, Mighty Fox, that's what they have Fox. God, what? The fuck, the goddamn writing. Oh my god, how do they make me root for the bad guy for getting up? What the hell? And not like not in a sense of like, because there's sometimes where you like there's characters that are like, oh, these are the heroes, but you're like, I want to see them get their ass kicked. There's like that. That's not in this sense. You made me feel pity for the bad guy. And made like, yeah, he's getting up to fight the main character. And then you're like, wait a minute, he's getting up to fight the main character. like, what the fuck? Okay, so I kind of called that these guys were going to be kind of like the Team Rocket last episode and way back as well, where like they're characters who are bad guys and eventually will grow to be like probably more like supporting cast of the main character. And I still do think that. If not, they'll be like small rivals or whatever. I think still they would become friends with him, but with Andy eventually. But pretty much, Andy is way stronger, and this dude is having PTSD. Which also, here's the thing that I actually love about this too, is that like Andy straight says like, are you like, wow, you're moving way slower and all this stuff, and like it seems like at first you're kind of looking at it like, is there some kind of like cheating technique going on here? Some cheating thing that's going on? Because there's things like, as soon as the bell rings, Andy comes up and just immediately clocks his ass and gets a good hit in. And everyone's like, what happened? And then like, oh, she went before the bell. And then Mikey's like, no, she didn't. The bell rang. The bell went off. Like, no, she was so finger triggered that as soon as the bell went ding, she went dead. She went, I'm going to kill you. Well, not kill, but you get what I'm saying. Like, but here's also the thing too. Like, oh god, there's so much that happened. This is really good. This might be one of my favorite episodes of Invincible Fight Girl because it's so good. Like, it continues where the last one left off of the perm game popping up, boasting shit. And the first thing I like is Andy being scared, and this girl. I can't remember her name. I just keep calling her the Buster Mom because holy shit, she sees her kid is spraying and she steps up. All the Busters stand up, and Brandon steps up. They all stand up like, you're not gonna touch this girl. Like, immediately just these guys, all of them, they saw Andy was scared and they all went, nah, you ain't touching her. By God, I love this found family. Holy shit, they're all ready to throw down. Like, oh my God. They were like, no, you're not touching her. And they even told Andy, like, come on, you can go now. We'll take care of this. You're good. But Andy steps up, says how she's gonna do it, and we get flashbacks to like the first two episodes, I think, of these guys terrorizing. And he says a wrestler won't back down, and that she needs a match. She fights against Immaculate, but she does say that she thinks something's wrong with him. And again, like I said before, she is faster now. Like, she has gotten stronger. And cool thing is, I'm sure if you watch the first fight of her against Immaculate in this, I'm sure there's gonna be like a lot of differences in fighting style. Because in this one, to emphasize that she has learned, you see her dodging a lot more, and you see like precise like dodge movements and strikes back. That's what I'm really liking about this show too. Like, the animation really does get through the character of things, of the different fighting styles, of like Andy, of how fast Andy is, and then showing that she has gained more knowledge in fighting. But I want to see, hold on.
I know what he's capable of.
Is it right? See, she's like, is this okay? Like, they're afraid for Andy. And I'm 100% sure as soon as shit would go, like, if shit went too far, they would already be they're going to be in that ring and beating the shit out of these guys. Like, God, the hair trigger of ding! Headshot! Like, holy shit. Freaking Superman punched. Like, holy hell, look at that. There's a glare on her head, but look at that shit. God. Knocks her out, and then they're like, oh, well, she cheated. And, like, they're like, no, she didn't. And she's noticing, like, that he's moving way slower, but it turns out it's not that it's moving slower. She's just way faster now. Even Poblana's like, oh shit, she can actually wrestle. This isn't wrestling, this is fighting. This is MMA, this is mixed martial arts. Kind of. Like, this is just, like, this, I don't think this, wrestling is more grappling and all that stuff. This is straight like, oh no, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. But, well, let's see. Also, another thing I really like about this episode, it shows that, like, it kind of happened when she fighted Birdie, too, but there's kind of, like, that Andy and Mikey are kind of almost on the same wavelength. Not so much like they're psychic, but, like, again, like they're right there. It's like she's faster than him. They immediately knew that. Even, like, when you're fighting Birdie, like, Andy already knew, like, way ahead of you, like, I already know what to do here. Like, if anything, it's kind of showing that Mikey's analytical side maybe is kind of rubbing off on Andy a bit. But Poblana's like, oh shit, she can wrestle. These guys, and then we're getting flashbacks, and we find out that this dude is having PTSD moments. We're going back, like I said, something's wrong ever since then. He's having, like, PTSD moments, seeing Poblana's face and everything. The reason why he shaves his head is because oh, let's see. It's a little bit before this, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Right here. He sees Poblana in his hair, and that's why he shaves his head. And, like, it's why all of them shave their head afterward, because to be like him. And the thing is, again, that's like, and the thing is, like, again, just showing. I'm so hoping I don't get copyright hit, but like just to show a little bit of Andy's fighting style, or at least dodging.
Lucky shot, but it won't happen again.
See, like she's fought against M. Brandon, who kind of did rapid punches. And Andy took a lot of those punches. This one, she's just dodging. She's actually dodging. And then, immediately duck, kick. And she's not relying only on the leg twist. Freaking breakdance kick style. And freaking follow-up kick, too. And it's funny because Andy is straight saying, like, this doesn't make sense. You're supposed to be strong. And she's like, oh, wait, you're not strong. And eventually, she even tries doing the perfect strike. This dude flinches. And this guy talks about how, like, there's always going to be a big buff guy. There's always going to be whatever. That's not what we're looking for in the UFC, or whatever the hell it's called. The fighting thing. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for someone with a story. We're looking for someone who has a story and what they can do with that story. Kind of thing. Which it wouldn't surprise me if, like, all these guys are going to get out of the perm gang and Andy are going to get grabbed and put into the fighting with that and stuff. Because
a bully like you.
Pretty much she brings up, like, you're just a bully that was throwing your weight around, but you're not, that he's not even strong. Showing, like, you remembering, like, when she first fought him, it was cowering, and it turns out he's not that strong, and she already outclasses him. She already surpassed him in that point. He is very weak. Which, I really love how they do a lot of this. Like, they seem like, yeah, it shows how weak Andy was back then, and, like, how scared he is. And then just showing how strong she's become now. More confident. And then, like, again, he does...
Perfect.
She's mastered the imperfect strike, which is really funny, because I wonder if this is kind of how people felt watching Dragon Ball Z Super when Goku was still learning Ultra Instinct. I gotta watch Dragon Ball Z Super, and I ain't gonna lie to you. If Dragon Ball Z Super was like this, I would probably have already watched the entire thing. By God, does anime drag. But at least that one does. Like, again, like the entire first episode of Dragon Ball Z Super is 1 page in the manga. Anyways. So, and she pretty much... She asks, what are you doing? Get up! Pretty much saying, like, she's not gonna perfect the perfect strike if he's like this. He's like, get up! Get up so I can kick your ass! Like, that's pretty much what she's kind of saying. Like, get up so I can kick your ass! Get up! I need a fight! The Perm Gang eventually comes in to the... It's...
Get up.
Everyone else like, like, Andy...
Take it easy. No! This isn't fair. This isn't right. Because he's giving up. Because he's too weak.
Like, God. And, like, the Perm Gang eventually comes up, and then we learn about the Perm Gang's backstory. Where they're, I guess, either they're all related or they're orphan. They were just orphans. But pretty much they lived in Bunker City years ago. They lived out of a box. This was their family portrait of Sony, Jeff, Julius, and Kate. They grew up reading pretty much Power Ranger luchadors. Oh, wait a minute. And then I just realized the name says Immaculate on the thing. Immaculate's one of the Sentais. Oh, so that's where he got the name Immaculate from. And pretty much they looked up to them, all this stuff. That explains the posing. They were trying to save up so they could buy Master Roshi's house. I'm sure if you can see that. They were trying to save up to save Master Roshi's house, to buy Master Roshi's house. And pretty much these gang came in, kept beating them up, taking their money. Eventually, he stands up to them. They burn down his house. And it's really funny because if you go watch episode 4 of Owl Wolf Town, something kind of similar happens here that happens to Immaculate. And I'm like, oh shit. Actually, a lot of kind of it's similar. That surprised me. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. All right, there you go. He breaks. He breaks in half. His mind shatters a little bit. And like he imagined them like I like that of the flashing of the fire and then his family and fire and then the family, because it's showing why his mind is about to break and is showing like what he's fighting for. He's not just fighting for himself. He's fighting for his brothers and sisters. He's fighting for them to give them, one, a role model for them to follow, and also so they can all become stronger, so they can live in this world that always is taking from them, as he says. He scares the shit out of these guys where they leave him alone. And pretty much he then says, like, they're going to grow stronger. They're going to become, wrestlers, the ones who take.
Someone who takes what's his. Ow!
And if anything, I like this too, this kind of symbolism kind of thing right here.
We are those people. But we can be.
Where, especially because, again, he's taking his name from the comic. The character Immaculate, whatever. Or maybe it's the Immaculate Sentai Ranger. I'm not entirely sure, but he took the name Immaculate from the comic, and now he's using that comic to protect his brothers and sisters. He's using it to keep the rain off of them, to protect them from it, while he's getting drenched, while he's getting rained on. God damn it, I love this show. God, I love this villain. Well, villain. Like, they're not really, well, they are bad guys, but, like, you understand also why they're becoming bad guys, and okay, here's the thing. People always say shit, like, don't go on Twitter, it sucks. But people say shit all the time, like, we want villains that are just pure evil. We don't want sympathetic villains. 90% of those people are gonna hate any pure evil villain. Again, I brought it before. My Doug Walker's December whatever of the Owl House. And he's like, I never really cared about Bellows, and like I never had a feeling for him. Like, he was just evil to be evil. And it's like, no shit. Like, that's the thing. He's an evil shit. Like, he stabbed his brother in the back. Because he fell in love with a witch. And all this other stuff because of racism and bigotry and all this other garbage. He's evil. I get it. And again, this is also a dude who's asked for more villains that are just pure evil. He doesn't want to see sympathetic backstories also. That is 90% of the people who all say, I want a villain who's just evil. And then they say, like, well, he's a two-dimensional character. I don't like this character. Shit. This is done really well with the sympathetic one. Because again, I like that. I like the symbolism of that he's just protecting his family. The symbolism of seeing the fire and then his family and then the fire and flee back and forth. Like, what if he lost them? Like, if he's weak and he lost them. Like, that's what broke him. That's what made him choose to do this and bring his family along so that they become wrestlers, the ones who take. And then also, it's good that they show also, like, obviously, they're also the inciting event for Andy. They're the reason she started fighting to protect her family and all that. Her home. And, like, this guy says, like, a story is one of the strongest things. And so, like, these guys all stand up together saying, like Andy says, like, call it. We're done here. The fight's over. The Perm gang all stand up and they're like, no, we're gonna, we're, like, they're trembling, but they're trying to tell them to get up. And eventually they're like, we're gonna fight. And then this guy starts laughing like an idiot. Which, again, it's really funny because after getting that small bit of backstory and everything, I'm like, yeah, Immaculate, get up! Get that fighting spirit! And then you're like, she has to fight Andy. Fuck. like, it's like, oh, shit. Like, oh, my God. But yeah, this episode. And then Andy's like, oh, shit. Maybe I should have told him to stand up.
Really bad.
And now they get into a fight, and hell yeah, I'm excited. I want to see this fight. I want to see this, because it seems like obviously everything's leading up to this, so I definitely want to see what this final fight is going to be. I don't know if this is the season finale for it, or maybe there's just season 1A or whatever. Let me see. Invincible Fight Girl. Let's see, when's the... Let me see episodes. So I guess it's only 10 episodes. Will be caught up by the end of this. Damn. But also on that same point, by God, this is freaking good. Holy shit! All right, I'm gonna watch the last episode, and we're gonna get to. Mind you, I'm doing this all like together in a chunk. So yeah, but thanks for watching your videos. Hopefully enjoy this. I'm enjoying it a lot. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. God, it's so good.